So, what is your advice for people who not only require a boost in confidence, but to people who are also a little too overconfident?
People who lack confidence, I always, remind my participants that everyone has something to say, something important. We're all good at something. So I think to remind yourself that there is value in what you are sharing. Passion is very important. When you are passionate about what you are talking about, it almost takes over everything else. So even if you don't have the best body language, the best voice tone or whatever, but if you are passionate, that passion comes through and people connect with you. So, not like believe in yourself and all of that. Now, if you're overconfident, that's a tricky one. And that is where I would say maybe remember it's a conversation. It's not all about yourself. Involve the audience. Be interested in what the audience have to say. You're not supposed to be just the only star here. It's not a monologue. Yes, you're doing the bulk of the public speaking, but the more that it's a conversation, the more interesting it is for the audience, the more involved they feel.
What are the 3 exercises that someone can do before going on the stage that will make them comfortable about themselves?
I would say breathing exercises for sure calm you. So usually, for example, like you take a breath through your nose for like a count of 4. So like you hold it in for a count of 4. And then you exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. Right. Some articulation exercises like the ones you and I did earlier for fun, just to make sure the mouth is working properly and all the letters are being heard.
You can do a tongue twister, say,
yes, absolutely. These
she sells seashells on the seashore.
Exactly.
That's what you made me do.
Exactly. The third one, I think, which really helps, is knowing your introduction and conclusion.
Okay.
If you have these 2 bookends, you kind of know where you're starting, you know where you're heading. What happens in between can be fluid.
Some greats, in fact, avoid the mic while others seem to crave it. For example, I'll give you an example. I don't know whether you know Shah Rukh Khan or not.
Of course, who
Everyone
doesn't?
does, right?
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan, I think, is a great public speaker. He craves the mic. Once he takes it, he owns the stage. But there are some great actors who've never been good on the stage. I'm not going to name any of them.
Yeah.
But why is it so?
Well, I think it comes down to personality, because a lot of actors are very much the introverts. Some of them have very timid personalities. So it's only when they're playing a role that different personality comes out. But in real life, they're very different. And then you see the real them when they're speaking not in a character's voice. And so if they're not very confident speakers in real life, or if they're more on the timid or the shy side, they don't like to be the center of attention. They don't want the lights on them. And so they shy away from that. Even if they might have fantastic insights and have a lot to say, they're just not as comfortable being the center of attention. But when they're playing a role, they're not being themselves.
Yeah.
So then it's easier to become that person.
Bringing it back to where we started, what can an everyday person do about it?
Well, I think one thing is, remembering that what's the worst case scenario? I mean, okay, so I don't do so well. What's going to happen? Like the world isn't going to end.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, no one wants to think that nobody is listening to them. But like at any given moment, not the whole audience is so focused on you. So don't take yourself too seriously. It's okay. And then again, if you make a mistake, that only proves that you're human. And that's fine. And in a way, if you make a mistake and you recover well and you keep going, you inspire others that it's all right. We all make mistakes. We all fumble. No one is perfect. No one's going to deliver everything perfectly.
All right. So now if someone wants to adjust how they present themselves, where do they begin? Where to start from?
By looking in the mirror. Honestly, you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you self-criticize, like, what am I doing? Or perhaps you video yourself. And I know that sounds odd, but I often do that with my participants. I take their permission, of course, but we take a video of them talking and then I have them watch themselves alone, because often it's like embarrassing in the group, but sometimes we do it in the group, and they realize that things they do without noticing that they do, because we all act spontaneously. And you might have a certain thing you do with your hand all the time. Maybe you shake it around too much and you don't realize. Maybe you're always playing with your hair, and that becomes very annoying for the people watching you, because you're always playing with your hair, or
you look fidgety, basically.
you fidgety, or maybe you have this very closed off body position, which shows people that I'm not open to the audience. They always talk about be open, have open hands, show the audience that you're open to them. So noticing what you do. Some people, without realizing, are always covering their mouth. And first of all, you're blocking the sound. And then it's also projecting that image of you're not that confident. You're almost embarrassed about what you're going to say. So you should never really cover your mouth. And perhaps asking someone you're comfortable with, a family friend, a good friend, a family member, and saying, what do you see in me? What body language do you see that you think works or doesn't work?